Calmness is often misunderstood. People think calm means passive, that it means doing nothing, or that it means being indifferent. But that's not calmness. Real calm is power under control. It's when you could react, you could explode, you could panic, but you don't. Instead, you choose clarity, you choose patience, you choose strength that isn't loud but undeniable. Think about it. Every one of us has been in situations where our emotions start to take over. Someone insults you. Someone disrespects you. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Or maybe life just throws a series of challenges at you all at once. Financial struggles, relationship issues, pressure from work. In those moments, your body wants to fire back. Your heart races, your thoughts run wild, and your tongue wants to say something sharp. That's the fight or flight system kicking in, and it's powerful. But here's the truth. If you give into it, you hand over control. You give your power away to the situation. Calmness is about taking that power back. When you stay calm, you put yourself in the driver's seat. You create space between the event and your response. And in that space is wisdom, clarity, and strength. The calm person isn't the one who doesn't feel emotions. They feel everything. They just don't let emotions dictate their decisions. Now let's go deeper. Psychologically, calmness lowers your stress hormones and keeps your brain's prefrontal cortex active. That's the part of your brain that handles reasoning, problem solving, and decision making. When you're angry or panicked, that part shuts down, and your primal brain, the one designed for survival, takes over. That's why people make terrible choices when they're emotional. But if you stay calm, you keep access to your higher reasoning. You see options that others can't. You see solutions where others only see problems. Philosophically, calmness is rooted in the wisdom of the Stoics. Think of Marcus Aurelius, who led the Roman Empire through wars and plagues, yet wrote to himself daily reminders to stay calm, to stay grounded, to not let external chaos dictate his inner state. Calmness to him wasn't just a personal practice. It was leadership, because people follow the one who can remain steady when everyone else is losing their balance. And this isn't just ancient philosophy. Look around you today. In business, the leaders who thrive are not the loudest or the most aggressive. They're the ones who stay calm in negotiations, calm in crisis, calm when the pressure is unbearable. In relationships, the people we trust most are not the ones who lash out or overreact, but the ones who listen, who pause, who bring peace instead of fire. In sports, the best athletes are the ones who can slow the game down in their mind, even when the clock is ticking and the stadium is roaring. That calmness separates the good from the great. But here's the hard part: calmness doesn't come naturally. It has to be trained. You don't become calm by chance. You become calm by practice. And that practice looks like small, daily choices. When you're about to send that angry text, pause. When you're ready to argue, breathe. When you feel your emotions rising, step back and ask yourself, will this matter tomorrow? Will this matter a year from now? That pause is where calmness lives. Calmness is not silence. It's not about bottling up how you feel. It's about expressing yourself with clarity instead of chaos. You can still stand firm. You can still say no. You can still set boundaries. But when you do it calmly, your message lands with more power. Think about it: when someone screams, people resist. But when someone speaks calmly, with conviction, people listen. Strength and calmness also shows up in self-respect, because the calm person doesn't let other people's behavior dictate their mood. Someone insults you. That's a reflection of them, not you. Someone tries to provoke you. That's their weakness, not yours. If you let them pull you into anger, they've won twice, once in provoking you and once in watching you lose yourself. Calmness is the refusal to hand over your peace. Now, some will say, but if I don't react, won't people walk over me? Won't they think I'm weak? And this is where the real wisdom lies. Weakness is overreacting. Weakness is losing control. Strength is restraint. Strength is being able to strike, but choosing not to. Calmness doesn't mean you let people disrespect you. It means you don't let them set the terms of your behavior. You respond in a way that is effective, not emotional. You protect your dignity while maintaining your clarity. And let me tell you, this calmness is contagious. When you remain calm, you shift the atmosphere around you. You bring stability to your family, your workplace, your friendships. People feel safer around you because they know you won't explode, you won't panic, you won't crumble. That kind of presence is rare and it's powerful. The great irony of calmness is that it feels like a soft skill, but it's actually a hard discipline. It's easy to lash out, it's easy to panic, it's easy to let emotions run the show. Anyone can do that. But staying calm when everything in you wants to erupt, that's mastery. That's control. And that's where true strength is found. So I want you to remember this calmness is not the absence of storms. It's the ability to remain steady within them. It's choosing not to be shaken by every insult, every challenge, every unexpected turn life throws at you. Calmness is your greatest power because it keeps your mind sharp, your dignity intact, and your strength unshakable. And the next time life tries to pull you into chaos, I want you to pause, breathe, and remind yourself of this truth. My calm is my power. When we talk about strength, most people picture something loud, something aggressive, something that dominates the room. We're taught from a young age that strength means proving yourself, raising your voice, flexing your willpower over others. But that version of strength is shallow. It's fragile. Because if your strength only works when you're in control of the room, then it's not really strength. It's dependency. You depend on others being weaker for you to feel strong. True strength is different. Real strength is discipline. It's not about overpowering others, but about mastering yourself. It's about controlling your impulses, controlling your reactions, and controlling your choices when the easy path is screaming at you to take it. That kind of strength is quiet. It doesn't need to prove itself because it shows itself in every decision. Think about this. Anyone can raise their voice in an argument. Anyone can lash out when they're offended. Anyone can cut corners when no one's watching. That's not strength. That's surrender. That's giving in to the path of least resistance. Strength is when you want to retaliate, but you don't. Strength is when you want to quit, but you keep showing up. Strength is when the temptation to break your values comes knocking, and you say, "No, that's not who I am." That's discipline. And that is what makes you unshakable. Psychologically, discipline is the foundation of resilience. Studies in self-control show that the ability to delay gratification, choosing long-term growth over short-term pleasure, is one of the biggest predictors of success in life. That doesn't mean life will be easy, but it means you will have the endurance to handle it. Discipline strengthens your mental muscles the way training strengthens your physical muscles. Every time you resist an impulse, every time you stick to what you said you would do, you reinforce that strength. And over time, it becomes who you are. Philosophically, discipline has always been at the heart of greatness. Think of the Stoics again. Seneca writing about controlling anger, Epictetus teaching that no man is free who cannot master himself. Or think of leaders throughout history. The ones who lasted weren't the ones who ruled through force alone. They were the ones who disciplined themselves enough to remain steady, to strategize, to lead with wisdom instead of impulse. Force can win a battle, but discipline wins a war. In our everyday lives, this truth shows up everywhere. In relationships, discipline is choosing to listen when you'd rather argue. It's choosing patience when frustration would be easier. In work, discipline is showing up even when you don't feel like it, keeping promises even when no one is checking. In health, discipline is saying no to the easy indulgence so you can say yes to your long-term vitality. In your personal growth, discipline is practicing daily, reading, learning, and sticking to habits even when progress feels invisible. Force is external. It's about trying to bend the world to your will. Discipline is internal. It's about shaping yourself so you can meet the world with strength no matter what it throws at you. And here's the paradox: the more disciplined you are on the inside, the less you need to use force on the outside. Because people respect consistency. They respect integrity. They respect the one who lives what they say. But discipline isn't glamorous. It doesn't get applause right away. No one claps for you when you choose to hold your tongue. No one celebrates you when you quietly stick to your principles. That's why so many people neglect it. They think strength should be recognized immediately. But discipline is a long game. It builds silently, and then one day it shows itself in the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you're trusted. It's not instant recognition. It's lasting influence. And discipline doesn't mean perfection. You'll slip. You'll have moments where your emotions get the best of you, where you give in to the easier road. But discipline means you keep coming back. You don't stay down, you learn, you adjust, and you recommit. That in itself is discipline. The willingness to keep training, to keep refining, to keep holding yourself accountable. Here's the deeper truth: discipline is love. It's love for your future self, love for your values, love for the life you want to build. Force is selfish. It demands control over others. Discipline is selfless. It demands control over yourself. And when you live that way, people see it. They sense the strength in you, the steadiness, the reliability. That's why the strongest people in the world often don't look like they're trying to be strong. They just are. So how do you practice this kind of discipline? Start with the small choices. Don't think discipline is just about the big battles. It's about the daily habits. Waking up when you said you would, following through on your commitments, choosing not to escalate when someone provokes you, saying no when temptation whispers. Each act may feel small, but together they carve your character. And your character is where true strength lies. Imagine two people walking into a storm. One shouts at the wind, tries to fight the rain, wastes all their energy on things they can't control. The other simply braces, takes steady steps, and keeps moving forward. Which one makes it through? The one with discipline. Force fights the storm. Discipline endures it. This is why strength through discipline is unshakable. It's not dependent on circumstances. It's not dependent on who respects you or who challenges you. It's not dependent on things going your way. Discipline is yours. No one can take it from you unless you give it up. And that's what makes it the purest form of strength. So the next time you think of strength, don't picture someone shouting, pounding their fist, or trying to control others. Picture the person who remains steady. Picture the one who says little but follows through. Picture the one who walks away from the fight they could have won because they chose a greater victory within themselves. That is strength. That is discipline. And if there's one thing I want you to remember from this, it's this: the strongest person in the room isn't the one who controls others. It's the one who controls themselves. That's the 1,000-word expansion of key point 2, crafted to flow naturally with key point 1, keeping the authoritative yet accessible tone, psychological and philosophical grounding, and ending with a sharp closing line.